to the Book Fix podcast, a podcast where we save lives one book at a time, but also one PowerPoint at a time. I'm your host, Chelly.
And I'm your host, Yahida.
And both Yahira and I have recently been to the movies at the same time, actually.
Yeah, which is so funny because, okay. You know what? Let's give them a little bit of backstory.
Okay.
So, in the group chat, I think
The Gossip Girls.
The Gossip Girls.
Wait, that's our friends group chat. Is it the Golden Girls?
The Gossip Girls is kind of cute, actually.
We gotta change
it. Give our friends no context.
Mm-hmm.
So I think it was Melissa who texted and was like, "Who wants to go get Starbies?"
Yeah.
And then you were like, "Yeah, I'll go." But I texted and I was like, "Oh, I'm at the movies. I'm about to watch Talk to Me."
Yes.
And you guys went to Starbucks. And
no,
then...
we didn't.
You didn't go to Starbucks?
No. Okay, first give your side of the story.
Okay, so my side of the story is that I was literally at the movies watching Talk to Me, or about the movie started. What time did it start? It doesn't matter. It was like around
a little after 9. Because mine started at 9.
Ours finished like around 9:20ish.
Okay.
So maybe it started like around 7ish, around there. So I was at the movies, and then after we got out of the movie, I literally turned to my boyfriend because I watched it with him, and I was like, "Should we do a double feature and watch TMNT? That would have been so funny if we went at the same time."
Because you would have seen us. It was empty.
Yeah.
Because what ended up happening was Melissa and I went to go pick her up, and she was like, "Okay, yeah, Starbucks." But my stomach was kind of rumbling. And I was like, damn, we need to go get like a good ass burger. So we went to a burger place that's right next to the movie theater. And while we were eating, she was talking about how she really wanted to watch TMNT because I had just watched it with my family the day before. And I'm like, there's no better time than the present, Melissa.
So let's fucking go.
So, and it's going to start at 9. And we were like, should we tell Yahira that we're going? And I was like, well, she's in the middle of a movie. It's not like it's the same movie.
Yeah.
But we were in the same place at the same time.
That's just so crazy to me. Did you feel me? Did you feel my presence?
It was so weird because I put my hand down and I felt your hand on my hand. It was very magical, actually.
We both took a sip of our slushies at the same time. So interesting enough, Chelly and I actually wanted to do something like this before. I don't know if you remember, but when we were first starting the podcast, I brought up, like, wouldn't it be interesting if, like, I just sat down and told you the entirety of, like, a show or a movie or something? And obviously, like, you can ask me questions throughout. And I don't know, like, I really wanted that, but it just never happened. So this is kind of like us doing that version, but we're adding a PowerPoint to it.
And honestly, if this does well, this is something that I'd like to continue to do.
Yeah, I think it'd be fun.
This was very fun to do. I do want to say we made these PowerPoints really quick. Next time we would take a little more time making these PowerPoints, but for what's been done, I'm pretty proud of mine.
Mine's pretty short. Mine's just like 10 slides.
Mine's short too, but it's because I have a lot of pictures that take up one whole slide.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so in total, I probably made like 10 also.
Okay, so in this episode, I'm going to start off. So I went to go see Talk to Me, which I was so embarrassed. I literally told everyone, even my parents, I was like, oh, I'm going to go watch that scary movie, Take My Hand. I told literally everyone, and even in the group chat, I was like, I'm going to go watch Take My Hand. Because to me, I was like, that makes sense. Yeah. Take My Hand. And I still have an argument that it should have been called that. But
okay,
whatever.
I was going to say, after... Just tell me yes or no. Don't elaborate. Would it still have made sense if it was called Take My Hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think it would have been a little bit creepier, but okay, whatever.
Can I say something?
Yes, go ahead.
I don't know anything about this movie.
Okay, I feel kind of bad because in a way, I don't want to spoil everything because I want you to go experience it. Because the ending, you know?
You know what's funny? I hate spoilers.
Yeah.
So much for something that I'm excited for. And I am excited for this movie. But I don't hate spoilers when they come from you. So you're
I'm the only exception by Paramore.
It's so funny because my sister will spoil something and it'll be super small. She'll just be like, yeah, Donnie from TMNT has glasses. Why would you say that to me?
Get the fuck out.
Now I can't watch it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I feel kind of like the same way. If it were coming from you, I wouldn't care. But I feel like if it was from like a coworker, I would be like, damn. Now I can't watch it.
So just know that this Talk to Me PowerPoint is going to have spoilers.
Yes, it's going to have major spoilers. Sorry. Okay, so fun fact, the creators of this indie film are 2 YouTubers. They're brothers. They have a YouTube channel called Raka Raka. I've never heard of them before, but
actually I have. They made short horror films.
Yeah,
didn't they? Yeah,
they do. So I think I didn't really like heavily look into this, but I'm assuming that this was presented in like a film festival, and that's why it got picked up by A24. So this was their directorial debut, pretty much.
Okay.
So kind of cool. So I am gonna give you guys kind of like a quick like start of what happened in the beginning. I thought it was really interesting because at the start of the movie, you're kind of like following another character who isn't the main character. And it's someone who is going through like a party and he's looking for someone. He keeps asking like, oh, have you seen Duckett? Have you seen Duckett? And everyone's kind of just like, And then finally someone's like, oh, in the bedroom, he's wasted. And so he goes in there and you see that his brother has like these marks on his back. They're not like super alarming, I guess. Maybe a little alarming.
Yeah.
And so the brother, I think his name was Cole. He grabs his brother Duckett and he's like helping him out of the room. And his brother kind of seems out of it, but you don't really see him. And as he walks out of the room, it's really sad. All of the people there take out their phones and the flash is on and they're just watching the brother, just like waiting for something to happen. And Cole gets immediately upset and he kind of like steps away from his brother Duckett and he's just like yelling at them like, what are you guys doing? Like, put down your phones. And it's like a really like intense scene because literally in a split second, the brother stabs him. Like he just shows up with a knife and stabs him.
The brother who was not feeling well.
Yeah. The
brother that was helping him.
Yeah. So Duckett stabs Cole like in the chest. So I was like, damn, he's gone. And he like yanks it out of him and he's kind of like moving around. He's not really, you can't really look at him.
Yeah.
But you see like the back of him or the side of him and everyone just starts running. They're scattering. They're going like everywhere. And then immediately he stabs himself in like the eye and then it cuts.
Dude, I fucking hate, and it's a thing that is in movies that are like kind of making fun of current times, but the fact that everyone takes out their phone when in moments where you should be like
helping or doing something right, when you should show some empathy. And I did read that the brothers who created this were inspired by watching someone having like a seizure or something, and now I'm not saying everyone around them, but there were some people around who were just recording it. So I think that's what kind of like inspired this.
That's kind of funny because I recently went to a seminar where they talked about why is it that people nowadays film
instead of reacting.
Yeah, and the lady in charge of the seminar, she was just like, well, if you think about it, we've promoted positive reinforcement for this type of like stuff. That's why no one reacts the way they should, because it's like, well, if I film it, I could get a few likes and talk about my side of the story.
It's like validation.
Like a little bit of fame. I fucking hate that.
Yeah, so do I.
But it's weird to me that he immediately stabbed him. Like, was he like cursed or something?
Well, we'll get there.
Okay.
So afterwards, then we go to our main character whose name is Mia.
So is this like time has passed?
Yeah, time has passed.
Okay.
Yeah. Not like a lot of time, but time has passed. And we go to our main character. Her name is Mia. And she is mourning her mother because it's the anniversary of her death. And we learn that her mother died by overdose, but to Mia, or the way that it's understood, it's that, it was like an accident. Like she just took too many sleeping pills. And so to cope, she's not really making the best decisions. Oh my God. Hello? And so she has a best friend. Her name is Jade. And Jade has a brother named Riley. And they both have a mom. So Mia, our main character, is pretty close to them. And it's really sad because she spends all of her time with Jade and Riley. and completely neglects her dad. Like her dad will be calling her and she'll just like send it to like voicemail. And I can't remember who she told it to, but she's just like, I don't want to talk to him. He's always so sad, or like whatever, right? Like,
yeah, because the mom died.
Yeah, so they're both mourning, but they're both mourning in different ways.
Okay.
So she's ignoring her dad. And so she's with Jade, and Jade is kind of like texting her boyfriend, and I think they're on Snapchat, and there's a video that shows up where it's at a party and somebody at the party has like black eyes and he's clearly being possessed. And so Mia is like, oh my God, have you heard about that? They're saying that it's like a game. We should go see what's up, right? And Jade immediately is like, there's no way that's real. Like, that's fake, obviously. Yeah. But Mia's like, well, I mean, we should just go. Mm-hmm. But Jade doesn't want to go until Mia guilt trips her and tells her, well, you know, it's my mom's anniversary.
What? Okay. I don't want to be possessed, Mia.
Yeah. She definitely guilt trips her.
I hate that.
So she does end up agreeing, even though she doesn't want to. And Riley ends up going too, which is the little brother, and he's like 15. Mm-hmm. And the reason why he ends up going is because actually before this scene, Mia had to go pick up Riley from like, I don't even know. He was with a friend, I think. And his sister, Jade, was not answering the phone. So he called Mia to pick him up. And so she picked him up. And so because like in these moments, you can tell that they're very close, you know, this whole group. And they're even in the car and they're singing Chandelier and like at the top of their lungs.
Love that.
And there's a moment, and this is important. There's a moment where they are driving and they see a kangaroo who's dying on the side of the road. I think it was like hit, and it was just like a hit and run. Mm-hmm. So they get out of the car and Mia's looking at this dying kangaroo who's obviously suffering. And Riley looks at her and he's like, well, just put it out of its misery, you know, like, because I think he's just like scared or like, you know, just trying to help this kangaroo, but he doesn't want to be the one to do it. He's 15. So Mia gets in the car. Riley gets in the car too. And she is like, she speeds, but she stops like right before she can hit the kangaroo. Mm. And then she's just like, she drives off and Riley's like, what are you doing? And she's like, you know what? There'll be someone else. There'll be someone else who will deal with that.
She can't do it.
She can't do it. Yeah. And so now we go back to the party. So the three of them go to the party. And at this party, there's like this duo. There's like this two friends who one of them obviously does not like Mia. Like they're just like, why did you bring her here? She's always so sad, you know, like that sort of thing.
Yeah.
But they're there because they've heard of this hand who allows you to see ghosts or spirits. And so they're at the party and it's kind of sad. I feel bad for Mia because I think she tries to make friends, but she comes off as awkward. So she'll be like, hey, how's it going? You know, like that sort of thing. And everyone around her just kind of ignores her. And I feel so bad because she doesn't know like how to make that connection.
But do you feel bad for her at this point, or do you not like her because she's forcing Jade to go to this? Because she doesn't really seem like a good person.
I don't think she makes the best decision, so I feel like it's, I don't know. I cared about all the characters, honestly, so I did feel bad for her. But I do agree that when that happened with Jade, I was like, damn, that's not a very good friend. Yeah, I would hate that. But anyway, so then the duo friend, I forgot their names, but they bring out the hand, they put it on the table, and they explain like, oh, you have to light a candle because this is like the portal. Yeah. And then you touch the hand, you say,
talk to me.
You say, talk to me. And then after you see the spirit, you say, I let you in. And then it goes into you. And you can't go past 90 seconds or else the spirit will want to stay.
So is it something that only the person holding the hand can see?
Yeah, no one else can see it.
Okay.
But you can see that their eyes start turning black. So that's how you know that they're possessed.
Oh, and that's why the person on the Snapchat video had black eyes.
Yeah.
So they probably had it for more than 90 seconds.
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, no. Your eyes still turn black immediately.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you still get possessed. And in those 90 seconds, you just have to take the hand away and blow out the candle. And that's how you close it.
Okay.
Okay. So Mia is the first one to volunteer.
Oh, that's such a scary picture.
Don't look at it. Mia is the first one to volunteer. She's like, I want to do it, right? So she sits on the chair and they put the hand in front of her and the candle that they light up, and then they kind of like tie her to the chair, and she's just like, okay, kinky. Okay. And they're like, trust me, you want this, you want us to hold you down. And so just to kind of like speed up, so she does it, she touches the hand, she sees the spirit, and the first spirit that she sees is like this man. And then the second time that, actually, it doesn't make sense. But she sees a woman, and the woman is like she drowned because she's like wet, and like you could just tell that she drowned. Like,
does it look like something you can see through, or is the person actually there?
No, it's like there.
Okay.
Oh, and it's like in front of you. Like that's a person.
Yeah.
And so she's really freaked out at first. She's like, I don't want to do it. Like, I don't want to say the words. But the duo is like, just say it. Say it. And so she says it, and then her eyes go black, and then shit starts happening, like the door is closing, and then she looks at Riley, which is the 15-year-old brother of Jade, and she tells him, oh, they really like you. And so she's not really like there. It's like she's being possessed, so it's the demon or the spirit, whatever, who's talking through her.
And the spirit said that to Riley.
Yeah, the spirit kept looking at Riley.
15-year-old.
Yeah,
okay.
It kept looking at him and saying like, oh, they're behind you and they really like you and whatever. And so this is the part where I'm not 100% sure if she passed the 90 seconds or not, but I think she did. I think she passed it by like a couple of seconds because they were trying to get the hand off of her, but they couldn't. Like the possession kind of like would make her move. And so it kind of had like a tight grip, right? So then they got it off, and then they blew out the candle, and I think it passed the 90 seconds.
Okay, I have a question. Mm-hmm. In that picture that you have, is that the first possession? The first time she does it?
I think it's the second. I can't remember.
Is her smile because she likes it, or is that the...
That's the spirit.
Okay.
But she does actually like it. Because even though it seems really scary, she does tell Riley after this first time, like, because he asks her, he's like, oh, how did it feel? Like, how did you feel doing it? And she was like, oh, it felt amazing. Like, I felt so good.
Why would you say this to a 15-year-old? Oh, my God.
Literally. So, yeah, that's the problem, honestly. So there's a moment after the first time where she's just with Riley. And it sucks because Jade is so preoccupied with her boyfriend that Riley got kind of scared. Like, after that he, like, went to her room to kind of, like, ask her, like, hey, can I sleep over maybe? Aww. I feel so bad. It actually makes me really sad. But she was like, get out. You're 15. Leave. And so he leaves.
Rude.
He goes to the living room, and that's where Mia is at because she pretty much stays there most days. Yeah. And so he gets in the couch with her. They're laying down, and that's when she tells him, like, oh, it felt so good. Like, you know, best feeling ever. And then they start talking about, she starts telling him like that she has like this reoccurring nightmare where she can't see her reflection. And she's like, tells him like, pretty much like letting him in. Oh, cause you know what? Cause he asks her about her mom.
Okay.
And she's kind of like, you know how she died. It was not drugs. It was sleeping pills.
Overdosed?
Overdosed.
On purpose?
Well, she thinks that it wasn't. She thinks that it was just an accident, but that her nails were like fucked up because she tried to get out of the door, but she couldn't. Oh, yeah. So, God. And then she was blocking the door too. So her dad was trying to open it and he couldn't because she was there.
Okay.
But yeah, so they have a moment together. And then very quickly, they keep doing it. So she keeps messing with this hand because it starts to like, I don't know, it kind of has like a hold on her. Like she literally like feels alive feeling this hand. And they have like a whole sequence of like because it's literally, it's not even a party. It's just at Jade's house where it's Jade, her boyfriend, Riley's friend, Mia, and the duo who had the hand initially. Okay. And so they're there in like the basement, I think. And it just has like a whole sequence of like them just like messing with it. And honestly, it looked like this movie is definitely an allegory for drugs because the way that they all looked was just like crazy to me.
Oh, I don't like that.
Yeah. So once they like after they had their fun, Riley is like, oh, well, I want to go. Like, I want to try. And Jade immediately is like, you're 15. No, like, you're not going to touch that hand. And Riley's like, come on, like I want to feel it. And everyone's kind of like, And then Jade keeps saying no. And so she gets really upset because Riley says something to her that was kind of like really mean. And so she leaves because she's upset. And her boyfriend goes after her. And Riley looks at Mia and he's like, can I just go, please? Oh, it's because Mia suggested 50 seconds. Like, just do 50 seconds. But Jade got mad, left. And Riley looks at her and is like, can I just do it for like 50 seconds? And Mia's like, I don't know. I mean, Jade said no. And he's just like, well, I thought it'd be different with you. Like, he guilt trips her pretty much.
Damn.
So she's just like, okay, fine. Just 50 seconds.
49.
I know. 30 seconds. And that's it. That's all you get.
Okay.
And so he sits down. They tie him up. And did I make a slide for that? Oh, I did. So they make
he looks so young.
He looks like a baby.
Why would they let him do that?
Because they're bitches.
I'm gonna cry. I was imagining like a big 15-year-old.
No, I think him and I think just his moments are really, really sad.
I love him.
I loved Riley. Oh my god.
I'm like crying. He's such a sweet boy.
Yeah, well, you should have seen the before. Okay, so Riley does it, right? And so he touched the hand. He said, talk to me. He sees something, but the thing is that us, the viewers, we don't see what he sees. But immediately he has a reaction like that kind of reaction, you know?
Oh my god.
Hold on. And he kind of looks at Mia. And then he's like, I'll let you in. I think right? That's what he says. Whatever. And so it possesses him. His eyes turn black. And then he turns to Mia and is like, and then he starts kind of crying. He's like, I am so sorry. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to do it. Like, I didn't mean to leave you. I didn't want to leave you. And Mia freaks out because she's like, Mom? So she like touches Riley.
And you're not supposed to touch him, right?
They never said anything, but it was weird because she touches Riley's hand over the other hand. So it's like this.
They're like this.
And she's like this. If you're watching us on YouTube, this will be easier. And so she touches their hands and they're kind of having a moment, but also like Riley or possessed Riley is not saying anything else. And then the friend is like, okay, 50 seconds. And she's like, no, please. I need this. Like, I miss her, like whatever.
Oh my God.
Yes. So obviously they go over I think
they go over 90.
Yeah. Or before they could stop it, then Riley starts bashing his head on the table, and it's actually really fucking graphic. So trigger warning, it's really graphic because he's like bashing his head and then he starts digging into his eye, and you see it's disgusting. And then they try to take the hand away, but the spirit like yeets him to the fucking wall. And yeah, literally, like it like shoves him to the wall, and there's like a dresser there, and he continues to bash his head, and it's just so fucking bloody. It's disgusting. And at that moment, Jade rushes in, and she's just like, "What the fuck?" And so she's like trying to stop him, and it's really sad because
Is he still holding the hand?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. He's gripping the hand, and so Jade rushes, and before he can do a final like bash to the table, she puts her hand in between it, and it like stops it, but it hurts her, and so she like falls to the ground, and I can't remember exactly. I think they yanked the hand away, but it was too late at that point, and they never showed if they blew out the candle, because of the way that the moment happened. It happened so fast, and so they take him away to the hospital, and the police is kind of just like, what the fuck happened here? They assume it was drugs because of, how he reacted.
Yeah.
And even the mom, Jade and Riley's mom, is so angry. She's so angry at Mia because she's just like, I know it was your fault. Like, I just know that you brought something and you gave him something. Mm-hmm. And Mia's like crying. She's like, I wasn't me, I swear. Or like,
I don't feel any sympathy for Mia.
Well, it gets worse. It literally gets worse. So
that's literally a child, and you wrote something down there that's making me really sad. Yeah.
So there's moments where he's not there anymore. He's not really there. He's not responsive. He
not
doesn't
what he used to
he
be?
doesn't talk. He is so fucked up. Oh my God. Just like looking at his face in the aftermath is so sad. Even like his whole face is like swollen. And there's a moment where Jade's not talking to Mia either. So Jade's like giving him a sponge bath. Jade and her mom are giving him a sponge bath. And their mom leaves because she's like, oh, I have to go get something. And he's just, she starts telling him, like, talk to me, like, please talk to me, like, say anything. And he like starts bashing his head against the wall, the shower wall. And obviously like the ceramic starts breaking. Like, the poor boy is like giving himself a concussion. And so he starts smiling and he starts licking the blood on the ground. And I forgot that he bites his sister on the hand. And so I feel bad for her because she's like frozen. Like she can't even move. She can't even move. She's just staring at him like, oh my God, because he keeps bashing his head. And then that's when like I think the nurse comes in and the mom come in and they like stop him. And then you just see the blood like just draining, and it's actually really sad. This moment was really sad. And so what happened after this? Mia stole the hand.
Why?
She stole the hand. Yeah.
Why?
Because she thinks that that's her connection to her mother.
Oh my God.
So she took the hand.
Wait. Has the dad come out at all?
Yeah, the dad has actually been shown a little bit. He tried to talk to her after this moment with Riley. He was like, I just need to know, like, what happened? Like, are you okay? Like, what happened? And the thing is that she keeps brushing off her dad, which is really sad because he's like trying to get close to her and she's just not allowing it to happen.
Okay.
So she takes the hand. She's in her room. She stares at the hand. But we slowly start to realize that she doesn't really need the hand. She starts to see her mother. She starts to like see or feel things or hear things, right? And so there's a moment when her mother appears to her and like tells her like, you need to go to the hospital. Like Riley needs you. You have to help him.
Okay.
And so she goes to the hospital. She convinces everyone, you know what? Like I have this idea. I think that we can save him if we have him use the hand again, which Jade is so angry with her. She's just like, how are we going to get him to use the hand? He's literally unconscious. And so because of what happened in the shower, she's just like, well, something is better than nothing. Let's just try it then.
Okay.
So they're all at the hospital and they do it in a moment where Jade's mom isn't there for some reason. And because she told Mia, I never want to see you again. And that's what happened, right? So they're in the hospital and she tries putting the hand on Riley and she's just like, okay, let him in. Like, please let him in. Nothing happens. And so Mia's just like, okay, I'll use it and I'll see like maybe he's here. Like maybe, you know those moments where you're like in a really bad accident so they think that your spirit is kind of just like wandering?
Yes.
So that's what she's assuming happened or is happening to him. So she's just like, maybe I can get him back that way. So she does it and then she actually ends up seeing a little girl. And something cool to mention is that I thought it was amazing that every time that a spirit would show up, it would replace the embalmed hand. So they were like their hand was like it would replace that person.
That is cool.
Or that thing's hand. So she sees a little girl and I thought it was really cool because the little girl was like, oh no, she tells the little girl, can you show me where he is? Please show me where he is. Take me to him. And so she tells her, okay, I let you in. And so the ghost girl tells Mia, I let you in.
But isn't that something that they usually say?
Yeah. So they flipped. Yeah. So they flipped it. So now she's seeing like what the spirits are seeing pretty much. Okay. And this scene was really like, ugh. So then she sees Riley and all of these spirits around him just eating at him. Like they're just all like grabbing him and torturing him. Oh. And she's hearing him screaming. And so they closed the portal. She's out of there now. And she's just like crying and she's just like, oh God, he's gone. Like he's pretty much gone. Like there's nothing we can do for him. Oh. And so she's so dejected that she just goes home. She's really sad. And I'm trying to remember the order. Okay, there's a moment where I think it was actually before this where, okay, something I didn't mention, Jade's boyfriend is actually Mia's ex, but they only had a thing very briefly.
Okay.
But it's like weird because she ends up convincing him to sleep over with her because she's like scared or whatever. And it's really sad because she's in bed with him and he's passed out. He's asleep. And the way that they're laying down is her head is on the pillow, his feet are on the pillow. So they're like the other way around, you know? And she just like grabs his leg or his ankle or whatever. She's just like trying to feel like a connection with someone, I think is what's happening.
Okay.
There's a moment. Oh my God. I don't even know if to say it because I kind of want you to be shocked.
No, tell me.
There's a moment where she wakes up in the middle of the night and she starts seeing like a spirit. And she sees the spirit. It's the spirit that she saw in the beginning with the one that looked like she drowned. The spirit starts crawling towards the bed and then starts sucking on the guy's toes. But the thing is the guy wait. Like it's in there. And the guy wakes up and in that scene it's Mia who's sucking his toes, not the ghost. So she's still having these moments of possession without having the hand. You know what I mean?
What? Why would wait?
Because she was possessed.
No, I understand that part. But why would the ghost be like,
the ghost
let me get a taste of that?
The ghost had a toe thing. I'm sorry. She missed the feeling of
wait. Okay, fine. I'm not gonna kink shame, but I am gonna kink judge. Okay, so
anyway, so back to where I was at. So after that scene in the hospital where she tried to, you know, do the hand thing with
help Riley.
She goes back home. She's completely dejected. She's just sad. So then her dad kind of like stops her because he sees her and he's like, Mia, we need to talk. And she's just like, she doesn't want to at first, but eventually they kind of have like this heart to heart together where he's crying, she's crying. And he's like, I haven't been honest with you. And I know you've always known that because I think she kind of had like a resentment towards him because she felt like he wasn't honest with how her mother passed. I don't think she had any idea of what happened, but she just kind of felt like he was keeping something from her. And so he tells her, you were right. I was keeping something from you. It's something that your mom left us. And so he reads her mom's suicide note. And pretty much in the note, I think it said something like that she just doesn't feel happy or something along those lines.
Okay.
And so she's crying. And honestly, this moment could have been so good. But then as she's hugging her dad, embracing him, she looks off to the side and she sees her mom and she's just saying that he's lying. He's not telling the truth. He's not being honest. Why would he lie? Yeah, why would he lie? Exactly.
You suck toes, Mia. Why would he lie?
And so that's when she's just like, she pulls away from her dad because then the spirit tells her that's not even your dad. She pulls away from the dad and she's just like, okay, I'll be right back. I need to go do something really fast. And he's just like, okay. And so she goes to her room, closes the door, and then she starts seeing her mom, and her mom is telling her like, that's not your dad. He's trying to hurt you. He's trying to kill you. And so then she hears a banging on the door and she hears her dad's voice, and the dad is telling her like, Mia, let me in. But it's like, I props to this fucking direction of the film because it like pans and you see the dad in the living room. It was like so fucking crazy.
Wait, I don't get it. Like, so is that him?
It's not him. So she's just hearing things. It's not actually him. So she starts to like,
ew.
Yeah.
Oh.
I think we're talking about yours after.
I know. I'm like scared.
It's okay. It'll be over soon.
Okay.
So, well, not that soon. But anyway, so she's hearing the dad pounding on the door, and the door breaks open, and she sees her dad in front of her, and he just starts fucking choking her. Like, she is choking, and the dad hears her from downstairs. The actual dad starts hearing her from the living room. He like runs up there, and it's really sad because it starts mirroring the moment where he tried to save the mom.
Yeah.
Or get into the room.
Yeah, that's what I assume.
So he starts trying to get the door open. He's like, Mia, what's going on? And in Mia's perspective, she's seeing her dad choking her. I think his eyes are black too. So hello, Mia.
Come on,
Mia. Anyway, so she grabs scissors on the side, and then her dad gets in the room and she stabs him in the neck. So she thinks that she saved herself, but she actually stabbed her real dad. Yeah. I was stressed. If you're not watching us, Chelly is stressed right now.
I would have preferred if she just sucked a toe again. Because at least her dad would have been fucking alive.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah. So her dad is bleeding out. She kind of like has a moment where, I mean, she still thinks that her dad tried to kill her. So she sees the mom, and the mom's like, but Riley, though, Riley needs your help. You need to put him out of his misery.
Kind of like what was said about the kangaroo.
Yeah, exactly. So she's just like, you know what, Mom, you're right. And so she calls Jade, the friend, and she's just like, Jade, can you come over here? I think I found a way how to save Riley. Can you come over to my house? And Jade doesn't want to leave Riley, but she is convinced. She's like, okay, I'll go over. She leaves, but when she leaves the hospital, Mia walks in. And so she has the scissors in her back pocket that she used to stab her dad. So she walks into Riley's room, and her Riley's mom is there. And it's really sad because they kind of have a moment where the mom's like, I'm so sorry. You know what, they told me that there was no drugs in his system. I'm so sorry that I blamed you. I guess he just had like a psychotic break, and, you know, like she was really sad about it and whatever. They have a moment together. But then she ends up leaving because obviously now she trusts her again to be alone with Riley. So now she leaves the room. And Mia starts looking at Riley, and she starts seeing another spirit in his place. So again, she's hallucinating, or is she?
Okay.
Yeah, she's like seeing a spirit. And she grabs the scissors, and she kind of like holds them above her head, like ready to strike Riley, but she can't do it. Like she literally can't do it. And she looks out the window, and she sees like that, you know, there's a lot of cars passing. So she gets like an idea in her head. So then she takes Riley, who the moment that she had like the scissors over her head, Riley opened his eye, and he kind of was looking at her like,
he only has one eye.
Yeah, he only has one eye.
I forgot.
He was looking at her like he can't say anything or do anything, but you could tell that in his expression, he was kind of like shocked to see that she was going to do something to him. And so she takes him on a wheelchair. She's like pushing him up. Like her plan is to push him into oncoming traffic. So that's the way that she's going to get rid of him. And as she's like pushing him, Jade comes back. Oh, because she saw the dad dead in Mia's house. She calls the mom, and she's just like, are you with Riley right now? And she's like, no, but Mia is. And she's like, oh my God, no, you need to get her away from him. She's dangerous right now. And so they're frantic. And then Jade sees her, like, because she's like going uphill. And so she runs towards her. And then she kind of like goes downwards towards the cars. And she sees, or she feels like hands on her, which is so like, this moment was kind of cool too, because if you notice, who she thinks is her mom starts mirroring the woman that drowned, because like she starts to slowly appear wet, and like even like her face doesn't look like her mom anymore because she's standing behind her, and she's like holding her, and she's just like, I'm so proud of you. You're doing great. Oh wait, I totally forgot about it. PowerPoint. Oops.
It's fine.
Now the spirit is like whispering in her ear, like, you're doing great. I'm so proud of you.
Yeah, that ain't your mom, Mia.
Put him out of his misery. And so she's like about to like push him, but then the scene changes, and it's now focused on like the car, like the person in the car, and you just hear like a hit, and you see Mia is the one who's on the ground. What did I put next? Okay, so pretty much Mia is the one who's on the ground, but she immediately gets up. It's like some fucking exorcist shit. Yeah. She immediately gets up.
Walk it off.
She like pops her bones back into place. Okay. And so she looks over to the side, and she sees Jade cradling Riley, like, you know, like holding him, and then people are rushing towards her, like,
because she's standing.
Yeah, she's standing in this moment. But then she turns, and she's in the hospital now. But like, standing in the hospital. She's not like in a bed. She's like still standing in like a hallway, and she sees Riley being pulled in by a stretcher. And then like the way that everything is moving, it's very like swishy, like swishy motion. So you can tell that it's not really happening like in time, you know? It's kind of like within time. So like time starts to be weird in this moment. Okay. Because then she turns, and then she sees her dad, well, the back of her dad, and he's like walking, and she's like calling after him.
Walking away.
Yeah, he's walking away from her, and she's like trying to get his attention, but he gets in an elevator and the door is slowly closing, and it like goes up, and the lights are slowly turning off like around her, and she looks in a mirror and she doesn't have a reflection anymore. And so then she looks to the side and she sees like Riley is awake now, and he's talking, and he's with his family, and they're hugging him. And then she turns again and they're walking out of the hospital, and so she's trying to like call out to people, and like nothing is happening. And then everything just like all the lights start turning off and everything goes black, and then you hear a candle being lit. And then it was cool because like the way that her silhouette was lit by the candle, it was kind of like calling to her. So she like looks at the candle and she like walks towards it. She sits down and she sees a hand like holding out for her. And so she holds the hand, and then she like everything changes. She's like in a different country. They're talking a different language, and everyone's recording again. And so the person's like, "Oh, I let you in," and then it stops. That's how it ends.
Oh my God. Just like thinking about it. Okay, just want to say, I have a lot to say.
Okay.
We're not going to have time for my PowerPoint.
No, we're going to do it separate.
Okay, good. Oh.
I just want to say that this movie, oh my fucking God, I was so into this movie. Obviously, it has really good ratings on Rotten Tomatoes, which is rare for a horror movie.
Yeah.
So seeing those reviews, I was like, I gotta go watch this movie. And even my coworker told me that she watched it, she enjoyed it. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna go watch it. And that ending, literally, I was just like shook. It like stayed with me.
So obviously she died.
She died at the moment that the car hit her.
So her getting up probably didn't even happen.
No, it was just her spirit wandering.
Okay. So how did Riley break out of it?
So there was a moment in so the two friends that had the hand, Mia would ask them, "Oh, like how did you get the hand?" And they didn't want to tell her at first, but then eventually they were like, "Oh, we got it from this guy named Duckett." But he didn't need it anymore, so he gave it to us.
And Duckett was the one who stabbed Cole.
Yeah, so he was kind of like in Mia's position where he didn't need the hand anymore to see spirits. He was already just seeing spirits. And so they try to find Cole. They do find Cole. And then Cole tells them like, oh, you just need to stay away from the hand. Like the spirits will try to kill you. But within time, you can get it out of you.
Like a drug.
Like a drug, pretty much. Yeah, you just need time away from it. But because you're addicted to it, you don't want to leave the hand.
So that's why Riley was able to get better, because with time,
yeah,
it just kind of left his system.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm assuming that these moments did actually happen. Because why would she imagine that? Why would she imagine that Riley would be better? If anything, she would see Riley with her, in the spirit world.
Yeah. So Riley did get better. That's what I want to believe.
Yeah, me too. Me too.
Poor Riley.
And then with the dad, I'm assuming that it's so sad, but I'm assuming that the reason she saw her dad and walking away from her was because she always ignored him, and now she can't reach to him anymore, and it's really sad. But my thing is that he might be dead too. Maybe the elevator like going up was symbolizing like, oh, well, he's going to a different place.
To that place. You don't get to go to that place.
You don't get to go there. No. Maybe that, or it could just be that he's just alive and she can't reach him.
Did it seem like at the end when she held the hand and now she was in a different country and she's the spirit, did it seem like that's what she wanted in her facial expression? No,
she was just in shock the whole time. She was kind of just like scared.
I feel bad because throughout you explaining this, I don't like her. But I also
think she's likable at all.
But I also feel bad because that is what a drug does. It makes you do horrible things.
Yeah.
And she's just a victim in this because she was dealing with a lot and she wasn't dealing with it in a healthy way. She did not seem like a good friend, but her friend did nothing to like be like, hey, maybe you should go to therapy.
Yeah. Well, they were young, so she's not a therapist either, so.
No, I know that, but that's it feels
just to kind of like to put it into perspective. I mean, this seemed harmless in the beginning, right? I mean, you just don't pass the 90 seconds and you're good. But obviously, like, they spiraled. Well, she was the only one that spiraled, and I think it's interesting because it felt like the spirits just really wanted her.
Well, it says that spirits try to grasp onto people that are lonely, and she was mourning.
She was really lonely. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And I think it's interesting how it was just torture. Like, that's just what they wanted to do with her.
It feels like this story, there was just never any good moments.
No. Well, they had its funny moments, actually. There was a couple.
Okay. The toast. Like the toast.
The toast. I giggled. It was so funny. Dude, the theater that I was in, everyone was amazing. Because everyone was just like, oh, shit. Like, because before that, you just see the spirit, like, crawling, right? Everyone was like, oh, my God.
Yeah.
And then the toast is like, what the fuck?
It's so funny.
Me on a Tuesday.
I fucking hate it.
I loved it, though. It was fun. It was a fun experience. Like, everyone around me was cool.
Oh, my gosh. What would you rate this?
5. Oh my God, it was so good. I want to watch it again. I want everyone to watch this movie.
I feel, I can't deal with like kids getting hurt at all.
Oh yeah, I really cared about Riley too. So
he sounds like a sweetie. Oh my gosh.
He just wanted to be cool and fit in.
That whole put him out of his misery thing.
Oh my God. And I knew too when they were at the kangaroo, I was like, oh my God, this is going to come back. I just know it is.
But she was gonna do it. She just couldn't take the responsibility of being the one to do it. Right? That's why she took him to the cars instead.
Yeah.
But how did it switch though?
Because even with the kangaroo, she was kind of just like, well, someone else will deal with it. So I think in her perspective, pushing him, well, I'm not really the one who's killing him.
Someone else is doing it.
Yeah.
But how did the switch happen? Why is it that she ended up going on the street and not him?
So... okay, I think you can kind of guess. In my perspective, I think maybe the spirit that's not her mom pushed her.
Yeah.
Or maybe she just pushed herself. I don't know. I really don't know. Like, because it doesn't show you.
But she was in a daze, probably.
Yeah. She was in a daze and she was seeing Riley as a different spirit. So she thought like, oh my God, this needs to happen. So in a way, I do kind of feel like maybe the spirit just pushed her because it was just tormenting her the whole time anyway. Mm-hmm. Maybe I got bored.
Do you think that part where she saw Riley being like chewed on and everything, was that actually happening?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Because he was fucked up.
He was really fucked up. I think so. I think that's what's happening in your subconscious. Like, I think you're just being preyed upon by all these spirits. And they weren't, none of them were even sure if they blew out the candle. So they don't know, like, you know? Like,
yeah.
They don't actually know. Oh, that's the other thing that they were doing when they were trying to get the hand on him. They would light a candle and then blow it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. So on the hand, I think it's just like different people who have gotten it. Like they, you know, like on a cast.
That looks disgusting.
Right. That is so sad. Don't be rude.
I'm like, oh, I can't.
I think it's cool though because obviously this hand has traveled around the world. And so it makes sense why at the end of the film, she's in a whole different country, you know?
Because it was passed on.
Yeah.
That picture is scaring me. Thank you.
And
oh my God. I mean, I would watch it with you, but I feel very unsettled right now.
Yeah.
Would you have preferred if it was called Take My Hand?
I don't know. I feel like kind of. Talk to Me is a good title though.
Even Let Me In would have been a good title.
Oh, but I feel like that's probably already taken. I feel like I've heard that title before.
Let me in, please.
Let me in, please. I'm begging you. I'm lonely out here.
Let me in, comma, I suck toes.
I feel like Take My Hand could have been a good title.
Yeah.
It could have been like...
it sounds romantic.
Yeah, instead of saying...
It should have been Take My Hand and just a picture of Mia smiling. Like, totally like clickbaity.
And like a little like blush on her face.
I know.
I think it could have been a good title, but I do like Talk to Me. I think that's still good.
Damn, dude. Well, I'm glad that this movie did well.
You know what? I think the reason maybe they didn't want to emphasize the hand is because she didn't need the hand anymore.
Yeah.
She was just vibing without it.
That's true.
I think that anytime a horror movie has a moment where you think you're seeing a deceased loved one, but it's not actually them, it's just the spirits fucking with you, it's always so sad. It's always so depressing. The
fact that the mom slowly changes to the person that was drowned, I can't deal with that shit.
I know.
That's so scary to me. I hate when things warp on a human body. That's like my biggest fear in horror movies. I've told you that before, right? Yeah. I can't do that shit. Oh my God.
But yeah, this was a really good movie. I would definitely recommend it.
Well, thank you so much for ruining my sleep tonight.
You're so welcome. Dude, yeah, after this, my boyfriend was like, how am I supposed to sleep after this? That's why I was like, let's go watch the turtle movie.
Oh, that makes sense. Meanwhile, I was fucking drinking my Slurpee. Yeah. It was like time of my life.
Lucky. I'm just kidding. This was really good.
Wow. Oh my God. Thank you so much for telling me about this. I do feel like I'm going to watch it, but not alone, obviously.
And obviously in the daytime.
Yeah.
At 9 a.m. sharp.
Oh my God. Are we done?
We're done. Well, thank you guys so much for listening to me talk to me. Hopefully you guys will, I'm not sponsored, but hopefully you guys will watch this movie.
You did a really good job explaining it. Now I feel like my PowerPoint subpar.
No, yeah. I'm sure it's good.
Thank you so much for everyone who's listening to us in audio form, whether that be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Music, or anywhere you get your podcasts on. If you want to, please leave a rating of 5 stars because Yahaira did so good. She deserves those 5 stars.
Please.
You need to give it to her. And the review, just right. Good one, Yahaira. Another banger from you.
Another banger. Please do another one. Oh, and please let us know if you like this style of content.
Yeah.
I think it would be fun to do this just like as a bonus every now and then.
Yeah, I like it. It's nice hearing your take on it. You know what I mean? And this takes me back to that one time you watched Unfriended.
Oh my God. Dude, after I watched Unfriended, which I would not recommend that movie at all, I literally called Chelly and I was like, I just need to vent. I just need to vent.
You described this movie and it took as long as the movie was for you to describe it. And then like for a really long time, when people would bring that movie up just randomly, they'd be like, have you watched it? And I was like, yeah, basically. Like, I have. And I could repeat everything you said. I was like, yes, I have seen this movie. Because Yahaira did a really good job explaining it.
I was basically there next to her. People walked out during that movie.
That's how much it sucked.
That's how much it sucked. Yeah.
Damn. Yeah, you do such an amazing job. So please give a 5-star rating. If you want to help us too with like just being more out there, if you can tell your friends, family, loved ones, or anyone about us, it helps a lot because the best type of exposure is through word of mouth. And if you have a little bit of extra cash and would like to support us, what's something they could do, Yahaira?
So we did make a Patreon, and for right now, it's really just a way for our listeners to let us know that you really love our content. It's just a way to support us a little bit more. You can find us on patreon.com/bookfix.
And we are finally doing videos again. It's been a while. But if you would like to support us and are watching us currently on YouTube, if you can like, comment, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. We do post every Tuesday and Thursday.
Well,
thank you for ruining my sleep.
You're welcome.
I swear that the next PowerPoint is going to be a little scarier.
You changed the theme. You turned it into a horror movie.
I just want to say no toe sucking in the next one.
Ah, boo. Tomato.
Thank you so much for watching, and we will see you next time.
Bye.
I can't believe she sucked toes.
Oh, dude. When she was sucking those toes, I was like,
what was her facial expression? Like, was she into it?
Yeah, she was into it.
Really?
She was into it. No, you mean Mia?
Yeah. Or was she like in a daze?
No, she was in a daze. You could tell that.
That's hilarious.
You could tell that she was possessed.
Mia,
stop. Mia, leave my toes alone. And obviously,
leave my dogs.
Obviously, the guy was really freaked out, so he like left. He was like,
yeah, obviously.
I
woke up.
He didn't take off his other sock. That's weird.
I know, Mia. I guess all the dogs are out.
Mia, be fair. Give my other foot some love.
I need to leave. I need to go.